Hello everyone, welcome to my nail video. I just wanted to show you guys what I do for my nails. So let's get started with the UV light. This is what I purchased off of Amazon. This is the best UV light I've ever had. So check that out. I will have all links in bios if I find the product. It's pretty old, but I love this UV light. It works right away, cures everything in 60 seconds. It's perfect. And here is my bag. This is my nail bag. I have random stuff in here that I put together. Here's my UV gloves. And here is a bunch of other random stuff I tried and I failed in, and I finally found a technique that works for me. So this is a dehydrator and primer that I use to help prep the base of the nail. This is a peel off and base gel. The peel off helps try to peel off the gel polish, and you put that as the base, and then you put the top coat on top when you're when you're finished. And this is the cuticle trimmer. Here's a UV lamp. I use this for if I do tips. This helps cure the gel polish and it's very helpful because it's touchscreen, or it's touch. And this I do not use at all, but you would use that with acrylic nails to try to buff it down. Here's a bunch of gel polishes that I have, different colors, and I just put them in that container. So this is Gel Builder. This is the perfect color I have. I found that as the perfect shade of pink. Here's Clear. It's a different Gel Builder. I mostly use Gel Builder because they are very strong. Here is a, this supposedly supposed to help you with removing the gel polish, and I say it's it works here or there. Here's a Yellow Tone Gel Builder. I don't like this one because it's again yellow tone. Here's some tips that I have, and this is where I used to put the powder to dip my powder, and that kind of worked for me, but that was a little bit harder. And that's just for polish remover. I don't really use that either. And this is you trim the tips. So that's everything I had in my bag, and now this is everything that I'm gonna use for today to do this set of nails. So we'll start on putting on the UV gloves. And first off, I just start pushing my cuticles back with my nails and just push them all back until you see the lift, a little bit of lift. I do that with all my nails, and you can see the skin peeling up right there. And then I zoomed in so you guys can see when I cut the cuticles. This you can get better at. I realized that I can tell a little bit where the dead skin's at, and then my skin that's, that I can feel the pain. So I could kind of tell which one's dead, and I just trim around the dead skin. You get better at it the more you do it, but you can kind of see the dead skin from the skin that's attached. And yeah, you just get better at it, and then just trim. I was afraid to use this at first, but then I got used to it and I like doing it. So that's one way to do it, and this is how clean it looks. And you buff this out and clean this up later, but yes, so I just do that to the rest of the nails, and then I move on to the next step. There's it all peeled off. And I get some alcohol and I clean my tools. Then I got started with shaping. This one was very tough. I've been doing nails for a little while, and shaping has always been challenging for me. But this time I tried to shape it into almond shape. I kind of left this part flat, but I shaped it more round later on. But here I noticed that my French, like the line to make a natural French tip, was kind of off, so I kind of push it back a little bit and it kind of shapes it into a round shape. That's a little trick I found out. And after I finish shaping the rest of them, this is how they look. They'll look better when paint's on them, when the gel polish is on them. So then I start smoothing it all out. And then the next step was to buff all of it. Kind of smooths out the base before you put anything. Here's a dehydrator. Dehydrated so there's no oils on my nails and the polish can stick to it better. And then this is the primer. The primer helps build a strong base to where the polish can stick onto and how it sticks onto the nail. And then this step, I believe it is the peeler, the peel off base, and that you have to cure. So I cure that for 60 seconds and there's the base peel off. Then I start with the gel builder. This has kept my nails strong. And then you can put polish on top of this, but I use this color because it's a very nice natural pink color that I like, very close to your natural color, and it keeps it very strong. And I try to do a thick layer, but don't do too much of a thick layer because then you have the nail kind of is lumpy and it leans to a side, so you gotta kind of evenly distribute it from around the nail. So I place it on there, try to push it evenly, not too close to the cuticle line, but here you can kind of see the difference, that one's pink and the other one is more my natural one. And then I cure that for 60 seconds. And there's how the final look looks. And I move on to the next finger or the next hand. I kind of shake when I do this, but you know, you get used to it here and there. And then I did not like, it wasn't pink enough for me, so I decided to go with pink gel polish on top of the gel builder to make it a little bit more pink. And I used the OPI bubble bath for that. And I did one coat. Cure that for 60 seconds, and then this is the top coat. And I just put that one super fast, easy. And cure that for 60 seconds. I do an extra 10 seconds after I'm done to make sure it's fully cured. And there's the final look. I use alcohol to kind of like clean up whatever I have around my nails, make it nice and shiny. And I know some base coats have like a sticky texture to it, and you just clean it off with alcohol and the sticky texture goes away. Not the base, the top coat, and this top coat does it. That's the final look of my nails. I like how clean and natural it looks, not too crazy. This took me 3 hours to do because I haven't done my nails in a very long time, so it took me a while, but I really like how clean and nice it came out. And you know, I just bought this once, so it was a nice quick and easy nail tutorial. So I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.